Ghost Cult Magazine welcomes back in our friend Lindsay Schoolcraft. How are you today?
I'm pretty all right. How are you?
I'm also pretty all right, all things considering.
Right.
Um, you know, what a tough time in the world, but the saving grace of this entire dumpster fire apocalypse year has been hope that it's going to get better and new music. And so I'm
Yeah.
super excited to talk to you about your new album that's coming up almost on the anniversary of your debut solo album last year, Worlds Away, on your own Cyber Proxy Records once again.
Mhm.
And just dialing it back, this is our third interview in a year and a half, which is almost a Ghost Cult record. And
Nice.
I'm so you're in rare air, and I'm just really love this journey that you've been on. Just kind of going solo and the choices you made, and just we talked a lot about marketing stuff on the Dumb and Dumbest podcast, but I'm just really excited, just like this way you've kind of energized your fans to enable you to continue and pursue this great solo career. So first off, congrats. That's awesome.
Thank you.
And
Thank you so
rad,
much.
rad that you again have included your fans kind of in the process, what kind of record they wanted from you, and you've done stuff like that all the way. So I think that's really special.
Cheers, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Word. And then again, Harp Album, which you were, teasing for a long time, and we were all hoping for. And we even talked about it in person in New York City a while back, that you were
Right.
gonna working towards it. But I'm even surprised that this defied my expectations of what I thought it was going to be. So I love the production. I love the arrangements. Rocky's back in there with some beats.
Yeah.
Um, you know, your production team is back. So let's talk about kind of the obviously you have these different, no artist is just this is all I am, vanilla. You obviously have many shades to what makes Schoolcraft music. So like the choice for the Harp album and obviously how different this is from Martyr. Like let's talk a little bit about that for starters.
Yeah, it was it's kind of just an idea of something to do because I it was between Christmas and New Year's, not knowing the type of year we were going to head into. And I wanted to do something, and I knew that my 10-year anniversary was coming up, and I'm like, I just can't pass up this opportunity to do something special for my fans and to celebrate the fact that it's been an entire decade as a solo artist. And I, right before Christmas, was coming out of a really bad burnout and depression, which is ultimately what led me to leave Cradle of Filth, because I just knew I wasn't going to get a break from them, and your health is more important than anything. So uh, it was kind of like that little glimmer of hope and light and getting my joy back. And like, I was so depressed. I really didn't, I think after I had like 2 shows, Toronto, Montreal, and then I didn't like sing or play music for a month. I was just in bed with chronic fatigue and in therapy. It was brutal. It was really hard time in my life. And then I was like, oh, this is something I want to do. So I do involve my fans. I surveyed them in January, and I was like, would you guys be okay if I did a Harp album? And it was like an 80% hard yes. They're like, yes, I would love it. And it didn't surprise me. It didn't surprise me because like the demographic of most of my fans, we come from the MTV unplugged years, so like we're like so used to stuff being stripped down in an acoustic setting, but I just didn't want to do it with guitar and piano, which, don't get me wrong, it's beautiful, and some people do it so incredibly well. I wanted to do it on this new instrument that I was pursuing. And, as things got better with my mental health, I got into lessons, and then this crazy lockdown happened. This pandemic came upon us. I mean, I can talk conspiracy theories for hours, but I won't. And I was like, okay, well, me and my producer only had each other during that time. I got very lucky and just headed straight into it. Didn't really think about anything. I felt like a teenager again. Like I just got to not worry about business and marketing and all that jargon, and just was like, I can just write and create music. Like I'm 16 again. It was such an incredible experience despite the state of the world, which has been very devastating. But yeah, it was just crazy. Like now I'm sitting here now and I'm like, wow, that happened. Okay.
Right on. I do have to say I have had a week from hell myself. This week has been
I'm
brutal,
sorry, man.
but this album has been what I needed. I needed just
Oh,
soulful chill music because it's
my
just been
heart.
like I don't want to hear anything It's the regular life is too abrasive and brutal for me right now, so I need some comfort. So this record's very soothing and, emotional. Another, like I said, another shade, another mood of Schoolcraft music, like Martyr was, very deep and many layered. So it's not just you with a harp. There's a lot of stuff going on. Love the beats, love that stuff. I could see like electronica remixes and chill.
Yes.
I kind of almost sometimes I want to hear like an ASMR whispering thing.
I mean, I
I
could
don't.
always retrack it for you if you wish.
No, no. It's perfect. Trust me. You don't need to. Not for me. Maybe for
Cheers.
maybe if you're for you. Certainly not for me. But
Nah, I'm good. I got Billie
yeah,
Eilish. What more do I need?
nice. Yeah, basically. How is a teenager more adept at expressing grown up emotions than most grown ups? Insane. Um,
Right?
music. That's how. But yeah, it's a fantastic record, and I'm glad that you talked. First of all, thank you for sharing your story. Obviously it's been tough for everybody, and before and after, we're all ebbing and flowing together through this time, making the best of it.
Absolutely.
But music is very good in healing, and obviously, there's a lot to unpack. Obviously, the sort of imagining of Savior, which I love that song in general. But there are a lot of really great tracks: "Fading Star," "Where I Fall," "Dance on the Strings," things like that. "Your Mind" is terrific.
Thanks.
A lot of cool stuff. So, like, was some of this material just kind of created on the fly for the Harp album? Have you been just working on it for a long time? Were any of these songs possibly going to become more aggro, upbeat tracks, up tempo tracks?
Probably not. I think it's just like it's going to be this decade of music, and I'm just kind of closing a chapter with it. It all happened because last I guess the end of 2018, going into 2019, I ended up doing a tour to Australia, and I was DJing and playing harp, and it was so much fun. Got to catch up with all my Aussie friends, and a lot of those songs, like Martyr wasn't even out yet, but I had adapted a lot of the songs to harp. I remember on the tour, like I did Fading Star, Savior, Dangerous Game. I'm trying to think if there was any other ones. I don't remember. It's been that long. Stranger, and then I think I did a cover in Amphetamine. Um,
Mm.
yeah, and I was just like, half of it's already there. You just got to put in the work and make the other half. And it was the perfect lockdown project, and the two new songs actually came about because for the longest time I was forcing them to try to come out on the piano, because that's where all of my writing starts. It starts with me on the piano singing. Sometimes it just stays full piano or the rock band comes in. But the minute I moved Worlds Away and Dance on the Strings to harp, they just came out. Like that was it. Like they were meant to be in that format. And I'm like, okay, well, you guys belong on this album. And it was an interesting experience. I've really grown with the harp. It's showed me things I didn't know were possible.
Nice. And I know you mentioned acoustic and unplugged before. I often think about this. Not only are we that generation, but obviously guitar players, especially for metal and rock bands, will tell you like you can hide a lot of stuff behind distortion. So similarly, the harp is so unforgiving as an instrument to perform
Very,
and play.
very.
And also your voice comes to the fore much more in a wonderful way, but it comes much more to the front than on Martyr.
Oh,
And so
thank
I
you.
was wondering if that kind of factors into your choices as a songwriter, as a singer.
Yeah, it felt really good to just, I think I did all the vocal tracking within like what, 3 weeks. And it just felt so good, especially coming out of burnout. And, I was on 2 world tours in 2 years, and my voice took a lot of damage from lack of sleep and the dehydration of flying and just not getting enough rest. I'm very lucky. I'm shocked I didn't get nodes or polyps or anything. I'm very blessed that never happened. And then taking that rest and then getting back into exercises and warming up, and then it just felt so good to be able to bend and twist how I wanted. And yeah, it was just such a lovely experience. It was really healing for me. Like I feel me coming out of that burnout and that depression and really overcoming serious anxiety. It was like a healing process for me. It was just like, like, no, Lindsay, this is what you're meant to do, and you're doing just fine, and just keep going because people want it and that you love doing it. So it is what it is. It really brought me back to who I am. And it's different, but I mean, it's just it just had to be done. It felt like the time and everything was right, and say the world is such a weird thing, but
No, it's great. There's a lot of cool musical moments on the album. I definitely picked up. There's a couple of waltz moments, and I was thinking to myself that the waltz is like the breakdown of chill music, because it really is like an alternative. Like if you were a guitar player, changing a riff or changing a part would be where you would put the breakdown in, and in those couple of songs, that's where the breakdown part would be. I think if it was like a moshy
nice.
songs,
I'll keep that in mind.
Your Mind. And maybe the harp just lends itself to a waltz. Like it's just beautiful, right? The dancey, no jokes about Dance on the Strings, but literally had puns. But literally, it is maybe an instrument that lends itself to that kind of rhythm.
Yeah, well, it is Celtic, and my studies with the harp did start in Irish folk music. So a lot of it's in 6/8 and 3/4. So it's gonna have that waltzy beat. Like on occasion, there's a 2/4 like oompa pa type thing, but yeah, the harp really lends itself to 3/4, and I write a lot in 3/4. Writing. I'm actually writing for Antiqua right now, and they're like, "How many more waltz black metal, triplet black metals?" They're like, "What is wrong with you?" And I'm like, "It's just how it comes out. I'm sorry," but they like the challenge. They're not really complaining. They're more just like, "Why?" And I'm like, "Why not?"
Right on. No guitar player worth their salt would ever complain about triplet rhythms.
Exactly.
It's the devil's note as a triad, but
Mm-hmm.
I love the waltzy stuff. It's a really, just a really good, just a very good journey. Listen to it a few times in a row, it continues to hold for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that. It's usually the test. Like if I like it twice through, I love it, and if I
That
can't
makes
get
sense.
through it, then I can't.
I understand.
Because you not only you make music for yourself, but also I'm sure the same when you listen and choose the artists to listen to and what kind of music you listen to when you get away from your own music. So I know the Kickstarter thing has been phenomenal, and I know you didn't expect to get into crowdfunding. You've done kind of little tests of crowdfunding, and also you just explained how burned out you got from the whole process of just forming your own label, setting your debut album, production, sending it, just the whole kit and caboodle of a self-enterprising DIY artist. With the Kickstarter being so successful, is that helping you mitigate those effects this time? Is it going to be easier going forward for you so you don't get burned out and bummed out again?
Yeah, it's really every time you take a new big step, it's like you're going through a whole new learning process. And my solo career has really been the guinea pig for my new band Antiqua, because like as I go, I'm just smoothing out all the kinks and bumps along the way. And then when I get to Antiqua, because we're going to hopefully bring out a single this winter, it's just been so smooth. But yeah, it was very stressful, but it was also really difficult because my headspace was just so bad. I didn't give myself time to recharge, And looking back, I'm like, man, I really didn't enjoy releasing Martyr. It was like a very painful birth. But then now, like, Worlds Away has just been so smooth. And I mean, I'm glad it was between me and my team at the label. I have 2 people working with me, and we're just like, you know what, let's just put out an Indiegogo, flexible funding. If you don't meet your goal, then at least you've made a little bit of money, so you can, like, the vinyl is ridiculous to manufacture. But everybody wants it. So I was, at least try to get the vinyl covered or something. And now, like, I think we're sitting at almost 90%. And I'm just like, this is insane. Like, I wasn't expecting it, but I had been planning that crowdfunding the whole time I was in the studio. I had like a note in my phone where I brain dump everything. And every time I got a really neat idea, just threw it in the phone and forgot about it until it was like, okay, like it's mastered. Now we have to plan a release. You know what I mean? And then it was like a lot of it was already there. I just had to organize it and get down to work. But I'm so grateful for my fans. They're just like some of the most fun-loving, warm, cool people on the planet. We all hang out on Twitter. They put up with me, I put up with them. It's like a big family. I feel really blessed to be in that position. Like, it's something I've always dreamed about. I didn't foresee it this way 20 years ago, but I wouldn't want it any other way. Do you know what I mean?
Nice. So obviously, as we start to wind this down, you know, the record's coming out. I'm sure there's going to be some more promotion for it. You have done a masterful job at marketing yourself, but also not kind of over trying to saturate, because I think that's the mistake people make with social media and band
Yeah.
promotion is overdoing. So,
Yeah.
and I like that you've shown that if you do it sort of in a very, you know, thoughtful way, it benefits you, your fan engagement, streams, other things. So, you know, is there a key you could pass on to someone else? I know you're kind of dabbling in management now too. So, what advice can you pass on to future Lindsays?
Oh, mini me's. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, when it comes to social media, just make sure you find the balance between like, you know, there's like professional stuff and then there's promotional stuff and then there's like personal stuff. So, you know, professional, the music, promotional, you're selling, and then personal. And then you have this, they're the three P's of social media. And as long as you're balancing those three, that's like your fans come there to be entertained. They're, you know, they want to really jump into your culture and your branding and your life, and they want to share that with you. And if you're just throwing ads at them all the time, they don't feel like they're connecting with you anymore. They want to see your cat. They want to see when your harp strings break. They want to see stupid stuff and fun stuff. They want to laugh, and if you can make them laugh, you know what I mean? So yeah, make sure you balance between those three, because if you're just promotional all the time, that's when the people stop following you, because they're like, I don't want, like, I want to know about the person, the personalities. I don't want to just like, man, here, buy this t-shirt. It's never gonna work.
Right on, right on. Obviously, the world being what it is, who knows what the future holds, but hopefully it seems like Canada will certainly reopen before America. So hopefully we'll get to hear you do this music live at some point. I think that
I
would be
hope
amazing.
so. I honestly don't miss traveling and touring right now. I did plan to take this year off because the time changes and the travel are really hard on my health, but my doctor thinks that by the time I am ready to tour again, I should be in better shape. And yeah, I hope for it to happen. I really do. I do miss the stage. It's like it's just not the same jumping around your basement with just you and the microphone doing like punk jumps off the couch. It's just not the same.
It's good in the moment.
Yeah,
It's good
it
in the
is.
moment. It's not a fix for a show. I'm definitely sad without shows.
Me too.
Lindsay, again, Worlds Away is the album, Cyber Proxy Records, your label. Congratulations on this. As a journalist, you are not supposed, like a parent with children, you are not supposed to have favorites, but you are one of my favorites. I really appreciate you. You've been very good to Ghost Cult, very generous,
I love you
and
guys.
good with your time. I love you back. Omar loves you. We all love you. And
Tell Noah say hi.
I will. He's going to edit this video. He'll know right away.
Hi.
Thank you, and best of luck. We'll talk soon, okay?
Take care of yourself. Great to talk with you.